Hello again. For those of you that might be new here, my name is Grace and I post videos every Monday. Eventually I'd like to get to the point where I post multiple times a week, but we're still figuring out this whole thing. So for now it's on Mondays. Today what I wanted to talk to you about is kind of in the same vein of back to school, essentially. As you can tell, I accidentally dressed a little preppy today. I feel like I'm going to school, like private school or something. If you weren't already aware, I recently quit my 9-to-5 job, and with that, my days have looked very different than what they used to look like. And so for me, I feel like I've been trying to find a good rhythm of having more structure in my day and getting back on track. While it may not be exactly going back to school, I feel like for me, it's still getting in that frame of mind of like getting my life together a little bit, getting on the right track, life school, if you want to call it that. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's just some things that I am doing to kind of help get back into that routine and that right mentality for being productive and proactive, and then also just, you know, prioritizing my health and everything. So if you feel like sticking around, go ahead, and we'll go ahead and get started. So my favorite part of going back to school, or at least starting a new year, was the school supply shopping. And so kind of sticking with that same theme, we're going to get organized. Now with this, obviously, I think you should get a planner or some type of calendar to like put on your fridge or your wall to just like keep things top of mind for you. I have to do this. I have to have a calendar on my phone, by my fridge, and a little planner, but that is just so that I don't like forget things. But it is also organizing your space. So for me, my office was driving me crazy. I have this bookshelf. It was just all over the place. There were things hanging off of the shelves, falling over, and I know I just wanted it to look more clean and concise. I also personally had to send my equipment back to the company that I was working for. So taking off those to-dos of sending that back and then setting up my space the way that I personally wanted was so fun. I bought a new candle for my desk. I got a new, like I said, new notepad for it. And not to say that you have to actually buy supplies, but just do the things that are gonna make you feel like it's a clean slate, it is a clean start or clean month or season if you rather, and then just get it all organized to something that inspires you. Also with staying organized, take time to do the tasks that you have been putting off. So if this is anything in relation to like scheduling doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, any of those fun things, now is the time to get that done. And for me personally, I have been dreading cleaning out like closet space and like decluttering. One, just because it's time consuming, and it is so hard to motivate me to do those things on the weekend when I just want to sit and read or go to a coffee shop. I'm the person that feels like I have to do it all at once, but you can definitely spread it out. So take 1 hour of your weekend or 1 hour of your evening. Just carving out that time really does make a difference. So we're going to get our entire space ready to go and organized. How many times am I gonna say organized? So we're just gonna get our space in a clean slate. I think just over the course of the summer, because of travel and different things that have come up, I have not been in like a routine with eating healthy and exercising as regularly as I was like back in the late spring. And I really miss it. So here are some things I personally have been trying to do, and for me, I can already tell a difference. It hasn't been too long since I've gotten back into this routine, but I can just tell a whole difference in like my mood, how I sleep, how I approach the day. Now, everyone is gonna tell you to drink water and to go to bed early and to do all these things. You already know what you need to do. I don't need to tell you that. So for me, I have found it very helpful to find the time that works best for me. Don't feel like you have to go to the gym at 5 a.m. when you're perfectly fine and are able to go at 5 p.m. Now, I have tried getting up early and going to the gym, and I have accomplished it several times. But I've also noticed that it doesn't really wake me up. If anything, I'm grumpy, and maybe some people can power through it. Great. For me, I personally love exercising like in the afternoon. I think I just got in the habit of doing it after work and going to a workout class after work. By that period of the day, I don't have a to-do list of things going through my brain. I can just like actually relax and enjoy it for what it is. And it's much more rewarding for me, I guess. I just like it better. Just find the time and the pocket of time that works best for you, because then it'll be easier for you to be consistent. I'm not telling you to spend your money. I get it, things are expensive, but a little like new workout outfit or top or leggings, like it really goes a long way. It makes you excited. I personally bought just a few little things from Old Navy the past week because they were having a major sale. If they weren't having a major sale, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I will say it did get my wheels turning of like, oh, like now I'm excited to wear this. But if I'm gonna wear it, I need to go to the gym or I need to work out. Again, you don't actually have to spend money, but if there's any way to incorporate like that mentality to approaching your health and wellness, like if you are finding a new recipe and you're really excited to cook it to like help get those wheels turning and get you back into cooking, that's something that can be helpful. If it is something like clothes, or if you do need a new pair of shoes, or tennis shoes, you know, maybe go ahead and invest in that. So then you're more encouraged to put them on and utilize them. Along with working out, feel free to mix up your workouts. I think that I feel like I get in the frame of mind of like, I've got to do only weightlifting. And as much as I like it, after a while, I definitely need to shake things up a little bit. So go to a new workout class, go for a walk one day and then weightlift and then do yoga or play pickleball, just something active, and mix it up to the point where it doesn't feel like it's the same thing all the time. Change it up with the people that you interact with. If you do it on your own, then maybe ask a friend to go for a walk with you. I think my mom and I are actually gonna do that tomorrow, and at least go to the park. She's gonna walk and I'm gonna jog a little bit. The fact that we're going together, it holds us accountable even if we're doing two different things. I also love workouts at home. I personally love looking up the Mad Fit videos. I used to do anywhere between a 5 to 10 minute ab workout every day. The sweet spot being around like that 7-minute mark. And she has them for all different times, all different skill levels, which is really nice. And so I would definitely recommend her YouTube channel. But if you don't really feel like doing anything, that's a really good place to start. There's yoga online. There's so many free outlets of these creators just making this content for you. And for me, it makes me feel like I don't really have a good excuse to not do it when I could even do it like in my pajamas. My doorbell rang, so here we are. Talking about health and wellness and food, I personally love cooking and trying new recipes. I find a lot of joy in it, but that is not everyone. But even still, I have kind of fallen off the bandwagon a little bit with it. So getting back into the swing of things for me, I've kind of figured out that there are a few things that you can do for yourself so you can still cook, but make it a little bit easier. And that's kind of the point of this whole genre of tips, is to make cooking easy for yourself. So for me, that looks like finding key ingredients that you can use through multiple different recipes. Case in point, I bought some spinach and I was like, well, I can use that for salads, smoothies, omelets, etc. And kind of having that frame of mind helps me to not overspend at the store or feel like I have to plan something extravagant for every meal. So that's been really helpful for me. I will not tell you to meal prep. I love people that meal prep. I have meal prepped. It's a lot of work. And I don't really want to do that on my Sunday or my Saturday before the week starts. I really don't. However, there's one form of meal prep that I've become quite the fan of because it does not take any more than 5 minutes and it is easy to do the night before. It doesn't matter if it's Sunday, Wednesday, I don't care what day it is. It is so easy to do. For me, that has been overnight oats, which are actually really good. I was skeptical, but I personally like a recipe that I make and it is so easy. It's part of like my routine now before I go to bed. If I know I don't have any other type of food or the time the next day to make breakfast, I will whip up some overnight oats, and sometimes I'll make 2 batches at once because it's that simple, and then that saves some time for the future self of me to not have to worry about that. If there's any tip that you take away from this, I really think that helps. If you're not a breakfast person, then ignore it. But if you are like me and you're used to eating first thing in the morning, then it is so beneficial. 3-piece, pre-prepped protein. So much easier than feeling like you have to cook grilled chicken every single night, or a steak, or a fish, or whatever. It doesn't mean that you can't mix it up if you're feeling like it, but for me, that looks like going to Sam's Club and getting pre-cooked grilled chicken breasts. They make like 5 in a batch, and they're already seasoned, they're already cooked, and they last for several days. And then that's one less thing you have to think about. You can throw it in the oven or microwave, or you can eat it cold, whatever your prerogative is. That is just so crucial for me. Also, getting a good protein powder. Now I know that some people are probably rolling their eyes, and I used to not be a believer in protein powder, but I will say it is so nice to just have on hand if you find one that you really like, because then it's easy for smoothies. It's easy to throw in if you're baking something or just making something already and you want to add like a little boost of protein. It's already there, and it's one less thing to think about. Another tip, which is kind of a little bit more on the wellness side of things, I guess, take time to help your future self. Everyone's gonna tell you, get a good night's sleep, everything starts the night before, yada, yada, yada. And it is true, but I mean, I don't feel like I have to do like a full-on routine before I go to bed. I mean, that's just one more thing to think about. But something very simple is just like laying out your workout clothes or your clothes for the next day, and then do any tiny minor tasks before the next day starts. Filling your water bottle, packing a gym bag, or any type of activity that you're doing the next day, just having everything laid out by the door. Putting your shoes by the door. Highly recommend that. It is something that has helped me a lot, and it gets my brain in that mentality of like, okay, I know I'm playing pickleball at 6:30 in the morning. Lay my clothes out, socks, shoes, everything. So then when I am rolling out of bed 15 minutes before I have to be there, I don't have to think about what I'm wearing, and I can just roll onto the court, sleepy and barely a person when I'm there, but at least I put my clothes on and I didn't have to think about it. Good Lord, I'm out of breath. I'm talking too much or too fast. I don't know. You gotta encourage yourself. Everyone needs a little bit of encouragement, and motivation doesn't just come by wanting motivation. You have to do the thing and then you become motivated. So something that helps me is making vision boards, or like digital vision boards. Not that I really look at it every day. It's just, I'll go on Pinterest, find some pictures that resemble certain goals that I have, or certain ideals or aesthetics that I'm trying to either achieve or just incorporate in my life, and I will kind of make a little collage like that. You don't have to do that. Just putting pen to paper or taking the time to like get your thoughts out in that way, or put it somewhere other than your head, I think is so helpful. And I feel like you just continue to go back and look at it, or it's just like at the top of your mind, which is really helpful. And also, while we're talking about Pinterest and content in general, why do we waste our time on content that is not positive or that makes us feel bad or compare ourselves? Like, that's not gonna do us any good. Not saying you have to delete any social media apps. I get it, we're all human, we all like it. We want that quick dopamine. That is me. Think about the things that you are consuming. Are the podcasts you're listening to helpful, or do they make you feel bad about yourself? Music you're listening to, the people around you, and also things online. Is all of that weighing you down or making you feel more lazy or more unmotivated, or like you can't achieve anything? Take a little bit of a mental note and go back and find something that maybe will help you to be encouraged in some way. If you have a goal of wanting to read more in a month, then look up some book podcasts. Or if you are gonna be on social media like TikTok or Instagram, then go on there and see what people are reading. See if you can find a good recommendation. Filling your head with positivity and motivation and encouragement is definitely gonna go a longer way than you think. I can definitely tell a difference in myself if I'm listening to things that maybe aren't the most positive, or even watching things that aren't the most positive, or they are, but I'm like subconsciously comparing myself to others. It just doesn't do any good. The final thing we should end on is schedule time for joy. I would hope that there is joy throughout your day. Little things bring you joy. However, scheduling time for it, there's nothing wrong with it. All of our days get away from us. Everyone gets busy, they get productive, etc. And some of the things that I'm trying to do to schedule that joy is attending a girls' night and making sure that that is on my calendar. It is a real thing and I'm not gonna miss it. any form of meetup with friends. I just think that's so beneficial to get around people that you love, but you may not see them all the time. Taking up new hobbies is great, or taking up an old hobby that you haven't done in a long time. So one of the things that I'm doing to schedule joy, at least specifically today or this week, I'm going to the movies with my mom tonight. It is $6 movie nights on Tuesdays, and we're gonna go to a movie. It is so easy to just wanna be home and sit on the couch and watch Netflix, but going to the movies, getting some candy, sitting and watching something that we both wanna see and either laugh or just have like, you know, some type of other surrounding, I think goes a long way. You are there, you are present, and it is not getting in the way of anything else. So I think just scheduling time for joy and or play is so important. Well, everyone, those are my tips to getting back on track. If you guys happen to be in a little bit of a limbo or slump or funk, or you're just in this new season or phase of your life and you're just wanting to be consistent with things or get back to a routine, then I hope these tips helped. Feel free to stick around if you want. For the next video, like I said, I post every Monday, at least I'm gonna try to. Thanks so much for hanging around, and I'll see you next time.